The following Earth Angel media presentation is brought to you commercial-free as a gratuity from the sponsor producer named after the show. Please consider their message. Find other high-value shows listed at earthangelproject.com. Enjoy the show.
Welcome to Soul Decodes. Join us as we wander off the path to find the ideas that fascinate. We talk about spirituality, the mind, the ego, wellness, and hidden history with tips, travels, and tales. Charms for a better life.
Could it be everything I had they took away from me? Had to leave, travel 90 miles, a flight across the sea to America. Didn't speak the language, nothing but a dream. It's a miracle we're here today. Grateful and we're free.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. You're listening to Soul Decodes, episode 66. We have a special guest today, and I'm excited. This is like our fourth or fifth guest.
Yes.
We're having a good time doing it.
Loving
too.
it. It's
This
very
is like
good.
really, very cool.
Put some spice in the mix.
Boy, I don't even know where to start with this one. We have in the house Carlos Solis. And for those of you who listen to the past couple shows, we've interviewed his daughter and one of his,
Jess and
and
Mike,
one of his
yes.
sons. So, Sarah, did you take a look at this man's book?
I haven't, because I've only just received it like 10 minutes ago. But,
Yeah.
but I'm going to read it, so you might have to come back on because I'll have a lot of questions.
Absolutely.
But this is a political refugee story, and what a premise.
Yes.
Yeah, so,
Because that's it's just a lot without even knowing anything about it.
yeah, so just not to spoil this thunder, but, I've just talked to him briefly before the show, off stage, and we, he's an athlete, he was a boxer. He's from Cuba, so he's come into America through legal channels. That's a conversation.
Yeah.
He's a great musician. I looked at his Reverb Nation, very well established. Plus, he's done a great job with his kids. It's like we could talk about like 1,000 things, but why don't you tell us what's on your mind, and then let's.
I just wanted to say I listened to your album because Jolie sent it to me, and I was in my cabana and I was writing, and I loved it. It was it was so beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Really, really nice.
Yeah.
And how long have you been singing?
Well, I started playing music. I knew I loved music when I was a kid.
When you were a kid, yeah.
But of course, we had nothing. We came here, refugees, had nothing, so there was no way I was going to get a guitar. So it took me years to finally, my poor dad wind up getting me a guitar on a Christmas. And I was in heaven, and I started playing. And I realized how bad I was.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, realize how brilliant you were.
But it took me a while, and then I started listening to James Taylor.
Oh, yes.
And I started listening to the style, his style of guitar playing. And I said, I like this better than just strumming.
Yeah.
So eventually I picked it up. As a teenager, we got pretty popular in Miami. We were on live television. We were at a recording studio. In fact, we were recording an album. It would have been my first album. And it was with the producer, the guy that produced, I don't know if you remember Cornelius Brothers and Sister Rose.
Yes, I
Treat Her
do.
Like a Lady.
Yes.
So he produced us and wanted to sign us. But when you look at the contract, it was all one-sided.
Yeah, and it was back then,
Oh,
wasn't
my
it?
goodness.
Yeah.
I said,
Doesn't happen today.
All this effort to make 10 cents.
Yeah.
So we didn't do anything. So I started getting better and better and better, and I love writing music.
Oh, so you write your
Oh,
music?
and all the songs you heard, I
Yeah.
wrote everything.
Oh,
Music
wow.
and lyrics.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing is I couldn't make a living because when you go play at bars or restaurants or coffee houses, they want to hear the top 40s.
Right.
I didn't play anybody else's songs.
You didn't cover,
but
yeah.
mine, and nobody knew who the hell I was. So it just turned out that way. But I played till I was 21 or so, and then I met my to-be wife, and I said, well, I better put down the guitar and get a real job.
Right.
Which I did. And it was an interesting story. I never picked it up again till 2007.
Oh.
My wife was diagnosed with breast cancer, a very serious one. So I decided that I'm going to sell the business. We own a very successful graphic design company and billboard company. And I said, I'm going to sell the business, and I'm going to take care of her full-time 24/7. So for 2 years, I took care of her, but we lived in a nice house on a lake, and when we were told she had cancer, and we made that decision of selling the business, 3 days after that decision was made, a guy walked into my office and asked me if I would like to sell my business.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
There's no
isn't it?
coincidence.
Wow. Yeah.
So we negotiated, and it worked out that he bought it. So I took care of my wife. We bought a motorhome in between chemo. Chemo's every third week. And we would go camping so she can be out.
Yeah, in nature.
In nature.
Yeah.
And
Pure air.
a year and a half or two later, when she finally got a clean bill of health, I get a phone call a week later that the people we sold to went under.
It's almost, it just defies
It's
belief,
unheard
doesn't
of.
it? I mean,
Unheard of.
yeah.
So I called the bank, and I said, I got a deal for you. So I gave them, not even 50 cents on the dollar, more like 10 cents on the dollar.
Right.
I bought it back.
Wow, what a gift for you and your wife.
Yeah, and I bought it back with the condition that Michael, my son, who started in the business when he was little with us, would take it over. And when the business was built up again, strong enough, I said, I'm done. Here's the keys. And my wife and I have been retired,
And
traveling.
that's your legacy now, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. And they're doing a great job I'm a little... they're doing better than I do.
So let's go ahead and back up. Let's spend five or 10
Sure.
minutes. You know, you didn't come from Cuba with this bags full of money,
no.
and you didn't come like, I'm going to buy a business in America.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah, I know, right? Well, I'm looking at this beautiful cover, and it's the name of your book is called "From Cuban Shores to New Horizons." And it's a beautiful. It looks like a sunset, but it could be a sunrise.
Yeah.
And it's got the Cuban flag, and you know I've been down to Key West, and I've actually been to Cuba too.
Yeah.
And it's I know what this represents, but I think that we need to dive into your journey just a little bit.
Yeah, so go back to your earliest memories in Cuba before you left.
So my grandparents were originally from Spain, from Asturias, Spain, up in the mountains. And they went to Cuba with financial wealth.
To make a better life for
Yes,
themselves.
and they opened a big pasta company.
Oh.
And my dad lived in a mansion. They were very well off.
Were you raised in a mansion?
I don't remember it.
But you were?
No, I don't think so. I think, I think what happened, the mansion, one of the first things that the communists took, they made it into a school. And then they took the factory. So what I do remember is, and it's funny because you go to your memories, and sometimes after years and years of listening to all this, you don't recall if was that really my memory, or was that the stories my uncles used to say that I created my...
Yes.
But either way is a true story. So remember the tanks coming into Havana. the gunshots, the screaming,
What years are we looking at here?
1959.
59.
It was November or December of 1959. And
How terrifying.
Some were celebrating because they thought this was going to be better than what we had. Some were scared. Some were assassinated. So it was a total mess.
Chaos.
And we left in November of 61, 2 years after Castro had taken over. We arrived here on a plane, Pan Am, with nothing. Our clothes we had. My sister had a doll, and my father had a carton of L&Ms, and we just landed. And
what were you told? Were you just told we're going to a new country to live?
Well, I think my parents, I think everybody was under the impression this is going to be 6 months, 8 months, and we'll be back. Not to happen. We're still here. So
Not yet. Things are changing.
Yeah. Oh, yes. So we wind up in what we call the projects, Little Havana.
In Miami.
In Miami, and a bunch of apartments. Typical, if you see the movies, all the apartment kids running everywhere, and that's, and then there's things that stick to you. I remember the favorite word was spick. Everybody would call.
Yes, I've heard
Here
that
comes
word.
a spick, and then of course you got to kick his ass, or they kick your ass. You know, it depends.
God.
It depends. So we went through a lot of that. I wound
Did you
up.
have brothers and sisters with you?
Excuse me.
Did you have brothers and
I had
sisters?
two brothers and a younger sister.
Okay.
And so went to school, learned English quickly, and got in a ton of trouble. I joined the local street gang when I was in 8th grade.
Were you selling drugs?
No. It wasn't. You know what? That was like at the beginning. Now, I grew up with major drug players.
Right.
I don't know
Yes.
if you remember, there's a gentleman, Willie Falcon, went to prison. He served 20 years, and he's out. And Giselda Blanco.
Oh yes. There's been a biography about her.
She was in that neighborhood. She grew up in a neighborhood. Well, she didn't grow up. She came from Colombia, but she was in the neighborhood. So that's what I dealt with.
So you were in a street gang, and that was where you hung out. And your parents were working, I guess, and you were.
So was the gang? Was that because it was? There was some familiarity, or was there objective, or were these just the people you hang with?
It was just guys that came in like us. We lived in the same neighborhood. We kind of protected each other.
So you had a common interest.
Yeah.
You had common interest, like you're living.
Yeah,
in
I
the
think
same...
when I hear the word gang, I automatically goes to drug and violence. But this was not like that.
This was just different. I mean, we had drive-by shootings. People would come to our
did
neighborhood.
or did not?
No, we did. We had people come to our neighborhood, and everybody.
And you'd have to shoot back or hide.
No, because we didn't know what was coming. And so, but yeah, it was a tough upbringing. I went to 3 middle schools and 3 high schools.
Wow.
I did not last more than a year in each school. It was rough.
And this was because you were rebellious, were you?
Yeah,
and you didn't pay attention.
I
you didn't do
like
what
school.
you were told.
I couldn't sit in that chair long enough.
No,
I couldn't listen to this. I just I just wanted to go out with
live
the
my
prettiest
life.
girls, and and so we had but there were some great times. Yeah. You don't know that you don't have anything because everybody was living the same way. I remember my mom used to take a shoebox and cut the bottom and put it under my shoes, so my holes.
Wow!
You couldn't see the holes in my shoes.
To get you through another day.
Yeah.
Oh my, that's resourceful, isn't it?
Yeah, she was very. So, but it was a tough. Miami was a tough place to grow up.
Yes, I've lived there.
But I remember in high school, I met 2 police officers, and they helped me. They helped me a lot. I still talk to them today.
What, they mentored you?
Yeah. They were a youth resource officer, and they were if they would have done today what they did to us back then, they would be in jail.
Yes.
Well, they beat the hell out of us.
Yes.
And we deserved it.
Corporal punishment,
Yeah,
And your parents were okay? Everyone was okay with it?
Yeah.
We had the cane at school. I never got it, my brother did, but they bend you over and had a long cane and they whack you on the arse with it.
Well,
now they'd be arrested.
These cops, they gave it to us. So I went to work early. I was 17.
Doing what?
I worked for a billboard company, and I started at the bottom. I remember the salesmen and the sales manager would drive in, and they had their own gas pumps in the company, and I would be pumping their gas. And I said, damn it. I said, one day they're going to be pumping my gas.
Oh, really? You affirm that to yourself?
And I worked my way up all the way to lower management.
So you had an objective?
Yeah. And they were pumping my gas when and then I went and took a chance and just started my own billboard company.
So when you got this job at the billboard company, was it because you wanted to learn a trade, or it just happened to be a job that you stumbled upon?
It just happened to be a job.
Isn't it funny that? And then it just transformed your life.
And, it's funny because kids nowadays have so many choices. I could be this, I could be that, I want to be that. I have a choice. I said, this is where I'm at. I'm going to make the best out of this.
And did you just watch everything that was going on and learn? Was that how you were able to be competent enough to
Every
think you
time
could
there
do?
was an opening, I would apply for it, as long as it's a step up.
Yeah, good for you.
And I learned, and eventually I went from being a worker to going up and being in the front office. I worked my way to a lower management position. And one day I just said, man, I can do this my own.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how hard that would be.
Oh, really?
If I would have tried, if I would have known at the time, I might have not done it.
Yeah.
I started, what you do is you go out and you find properties that would allow you to build billboards that are zoned correctly. You get the city, the state, everything. So I did. I went out and I found about 12 or 14 of them. I signed a contract, and my contract would say, I don't pay any rent until the billboard's up. I didn't have the money to pay rent.
Yes, so, you need the money coming in. Yeah.
So it took me maybe 2 months calling R.J. Reynolds Tobacco, because they were the biggest buyer of billboards back then. And I didn't get an answer back. Finally, one day he calls. And he says, Carlos, you've been hounding me for 2 or 3 months. I said, I'm going to be in Miami. You come pick me up at the airport, and I'll take a look at what you have. The only problem is we're driving a Pinto. Now, I can't pick him up in a Pinto. I was thinking about stealing a Lincoln, but I said, no, those days are gone. So I wound up renting a car, picked him up. The only problem was none of the billboards were built. I didn't have the money. And that's what he was expecting.
Right. Yeah.
So I put little signs on the properties, and it said R.J. Reynolds. And every time I got to one, I say, this is. And he says, you haven't built any? I said, no, sir. I said, be very honest with you, I don't have the money to build them. And that's why I need, I need some help.
Yeah.
So he said, okay, let's go look at the rest of them. So we drove all over Miami, took them back to the airport. About a month and a half later, I get a big thing, contracts for every single one. And he says, go ahead and bill.
And then he paid you some in advance? So you
No, he just sent me 3-year contracts on each billboard, which represented maybe $50,000, $60,000 a month back in the 80s.
Whoa.
So I went to the bank. Couldn't get anywhere. Wouldn't lend me a penny. So I wound up having to get a partner. And we did it. Built all the billboards. Then he would call me and ask me, hey, you know where Lake City, Florida is? I said, sure do. I said, I need billboards there. Would you go up there? Got a motorhome, Lake City, spent a month or two, found property. I had sale already made.
Yeah.
And I went all over the state of Florida, all the way to North Carolina, building billboards.
And did you actually do any of the building part? I mean,
I did when I was younger, and when I worked for the other company. I did the welding and
so you've done every kind of capacity.
Oh, yeah. So that's basically, and then I decided I'm done with traveling. I'm done. I want to raise my kids and came to Claremont in 86.
10 years before I got here. Yeah, that's a long time. So there's just a dirt road coming in,
Yeah,
wasn't there, at 50?
Yeah, it was nothing.
Orange
nothing.
groves and a dirt road.
Yeah. So we came to Claremont. I decided I'm going to sell.
What made you come to Claremont? Was it because it was beautiful and the lakes?
No, not necessarily. I think because it was just about the center of the state, and I could get to Panama City or anywhere else quicker than trying to go from Miami to Panama City, or So, and it was beautiful. I mean, you had the hills, the lakes. It was nice. But eventually, I had a difference of opinion with my partner. Things didn't go very well. I sold, started the local company, and been self-employed then ever since.
That's great. That's a great story.
Yeah,
You just went in as an apprentice, learnt the ropes, and then just took over.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
So I'm super excited to read your book. So you came over, you followed all the rules, you did
hard.
You worked hard, rags to riches. I mean, you nudged up against the drug world and the police world. You bumped it, but you didn't really have any issues.
No,
like you kept yourself pretty clean.
I kept myself free of drugs. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't take drugs. I never have. So
you're like me. You're pretty boring. I mean, it's like hey, I am what I am. Right?
Well, but most of my friends were. They were dealers. They were getting up in the drug world, and it created a conflict for a while, and then finally they, when I started my billboard business, when I needed the money, I was approached multiple times for laundering. Bill, I'll pay for the billboard. You pay me money.
That was tempting.
And it was. No, it was. But I said, nah, I got a wife. I'm going to have kids. I said, I don't need this.
It's very responsible of you.
Yeah, well,
that's amazing.
Yeah, I also scared the shit out of me to be in jail. So
yes, exactly. Totally. Yeah.
So is the billboard company that you had a name that we would recognize?
Well, it was in the 80s, called Outdoor Displays. And eventually it sold, and it sold again, and now either Clear Channel has it or Lamar.
It just got absorbed?
Yeah, it got absorbed.
What's interesting is, and Sarah doesn't even know this, but when I was not flying airplanes up in Detroit, I was an advertising and promotions officer for the Air Force.
Okay.
And I interacted with the billboard companies all the time, like Lamar and these companies. And the reason is because I actually got millions of dollars of free advertising for the Air Force. The AMI Air Force with the jets and everything.
I remember the billboard.
And I would bring, because they could sell billboards easier if there's something on it and it's not blank.
Correct.
Yeah.
So it was a win-win. So I could take them. It's like, look, I'll give you all the paper. You can do the hanging.
Right.
It benefits the Air Force. It benefits them to not have a blank billboard.
Right.
And I was driving the whole state. Any blank billboard there was an Air Force.
Wanted it.
Wow.
And that's great.
I literally, if I had a commander that was worth anything, I would have been promoted just based on that.
Yeah.
But are billboards still a thing today with all the technology of advertising?
Well, yeah, you got to understand, everybody talks about radio, television. That's all fine and good, but there's a lot of wasted ad. I mean, you're advertising on a regional, I see ads at my house from a car dealer in Jacksonville. You think I'm going to go to Jacksonville? So at least a billboard.
Yeah.
McDonald's 10
3
miles to the right.
Next exit.
And
people shop that way too. It's like
you're a captive audience driving down the
next
turnpike,
exit.
aren't you?
Well, on the turnpike and 75, you want to see a billboard. You want to know where you're going to stop.
Clean restrooms.
It's like you want to know where you're going to stop.
So you sold your business to your son, and by the way, we love your family. We only met. We got to meet Charlie still.
Oh, that's going to be
naughty Charlie.
That's going to be something.
So I'm going to read your book. Thank you for the gift.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah.
For those of you listening, Carlos gifted us. He's going to sign them over to us. 2 books. I'm excited to dive in there.
Please.
Is your book available on Amazon?
Yes.
Yes.
So I'll put a
from
link.
Cuba shores to New Horizons.
Yeah, I'll put a link from the show notes. Yeah. So that's good. So what's next for you? You're into music. Well, let's touch on your athletic, because you said I was making you a coffee earlier, and you said you had some experience boxing. We don't have to go deep, but I'm an athlete, so I love hearing these stories.
When I was in high school, instead of going to school, I would go over to Coconut Grove to Elizabeth Berry Gym and do a little training. I don't exaggerate. The training, learn how to throw a punch, learn how to do certain things, and try to get some discipline. And
boxing will discipline you.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Boxing was the best 4 years of my life because it was.
Yeah.
You will be disciplined.
Oh yes, yes. And so I did that, and I think, like I told you earlier, my dad worked at a hotel by the airport, and he started as a busboy, and he wound up being the assistant manager. And Roberto Duran, who was the middleweight champ, lightweight and then middleweight champion of the world, would stay in that hotel when he trained. And I get a call one day at 11 o'clock at night at the house, and I said, hello. And he says, Carlos says, yes, this is Roberto Duran. And I said, yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure it is.
And I'm Alexis Arguello, and I hung up. Yeah. He calls back, and it turns out it was Duran. And he says to go down to Tropical Park, where he was training. And so I go over there, and I tell them, they got the bounce big guy, I give him my name, they let me in. And as soon as I walk in, they throw a couple of gloves at me, headgear.
Were you expecting that?
No, shit, no.
God.
And I'm mouthpiece.
Suit up.
And I said, all right. And I'm cocky, you know.
Yeah,
so I get up there,
fun.
and I was taller than he was, but so I start jabbing, and I'm hitting him. And I'm saying, shit, man, maybe I'm better than I thought. And about 40 seconds, he goes in and he says, hey, are you ready now? And I said, oh shit.
God.
One punch.
Really?
One
Floored
punch
you.
in the stomach. And I took my gloves on. I said, fuck you. I'm out. So I tell everybody I went 40 seconds with Roberto Duran.
And he knew that as well. He was toying with you, wasn't he?
He was messing. He was letting me hit him. And here I am.
You were thinking, oh, I'm good.
Hey, man, so where do I sign up?
And for anybody in martial arts or boxing, everyone's got this great idea until you get your head.
Oh yeah.
Your first hit, you get your bell rung.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I just couldn't.
It's just a very different. Yeah. I can still literally remember the first time I got my bell rung.
Yeah.
I'm like,
what happened?
That's where the discipline comes in. It's like, what just happened there?
And that just spurred you on to get better, because I would have quit if I can't stand pain. If someone had belted me in the kidneys, I just walked away.
Well, it depends on your thing, because like I was at the Air Force Academy as a freshman, and I was a smart ass. So you don't get a choice of what sport you're going to do. So they put all the smart asses in to boxing because you're going to get your.
Wow!
So I deserved everything I got.
Oh no!
Because I was. If you're telling me that my uniform sucks and you've got dirt on your brim of yours, I'm going to tell you about that.
Yeah.
You know,
so you weren't popular.
I was not popular because I said what needed to be said.
Yeah.
And
you were respected though, probably.
But then,
right?
and they did the same thing. They put me in team handball, and all they do is just pelt you with these. Just you're the goalie. It's just I was the goalie. It just pelt. It was just being attacked. But you know what? I deserved everything I got. I own it. I own it. So, but I admire anybody who says they boxed.
Yeah, but
it's funny. Such a good sport.
Because my middle son, the one you haven't met, when I took him to enlist in the Navy, and I told him, okay, now you need to try out for the Navy boxing team.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah, okay, Dad, okay. Of course he didn't.
Oh.
And now he regrets it because at the time, when we started boxing, he was 85 pounds when he was 12, whatever we started. I don't know what age. And he was ranked third in the state of Florida. So as he got into teenagers, he started getting real good. And I said, here's your opportunity. You want to go in the Navy, try out for the boxing team. I'm sure you're going to make it. And you might even go to the Olympics with, the Spinks brothers. They made it.
People don't understand the opportunity. The military is very unique.
Oh, yes.
Because you can get, like, I did music. I was a bugler.
Yeah.
And I was able to, they flew me to Tokyo. I played in the Pentagon. we competed. We went to every ball game and had front row seats at every ball game.
Wow.
So if you do boxing or you do music, you can get in these different. Even my previous band I was with was a Phil Collins tribute band. One of my 2 guitar players just left. He was the lead guitar for the Army band. What stories he has. If I'm fortunate, I'll get him for my next band. But nobody knows that, you know, if you're a sports or musician or you even if you're color guard, like we used to get for all the Detroit games, we had 4 tickets for the color guard and their guests. Yeah. I got 8 tickets for every game, every hockey game, every football game, wherever they needed a color guard.
Right.
Because you can get, so there's a lot of opportunities.
Yes.
Like these are just tangential, but I mean, it's a sacrifice. I mean, if you're still in the Navy, you're still in the Air Force, still in the Army, but there's still some really cool things. There's some really cool things. Yeah. So that's awesome. So what did we not talk about? You know, I had a question for you about the police. You know, we talked about, you said the police, they were different then than they are now.
Yeah.
Had more authority, it sounds like.
Well, they had a little bit more leniency, but they used to be called peace officers. But now they're called enforcement officers, right? I mean, there's this paradigm shift. Yeah. And so I just wanted to get your opinion on, you know, you've been in America since pretty much as long as I've been alive. So I was born in 1963. So you know, you've been here for 61 years.
Yeah. Well, in 1961 I came, so.
Not just the police, but just America in general. Like, this is fascinating because I was born in America. She came here from England. Yeah. You came from Cuba. Yeah. This is very different conversation. We have 3 different paradigms about the same entity. So my question is simply this. When I talk about America, I'm not talking about a country. I'm talking about an idea. Okay? Second of all, I've never had to import myself into this country. So I'd like to hear the 2 of you talk about your experiences. So once you start.
Well, you know, there's a lot of people that hate America. They're commenting always about it. But you see what
the people that hate America, to me, haven't seen the rest of the world.
No, but you see,
so how could you?
When I was growing up, I did not confuse our country with the racism people had about me. Those were individual people. It had nothing to do with America. We have a constitution. We have certain things that are superb. They're fantastic. I grew up, people hated us. We dated a lot of American girls, and I guarantee you those parents didn't want to see us, but we showed up anyway. But the opportunities this country gave me to be able to fail when I had to fail, to succeed, to work hard. Nobody gave me anything, nothing. You just worked hard. You were honest. You tried to do the best you can. And honestly, I don't know any other country in the world.
And do you think that's still like that today?
I think the opportunities are there. I think we have too many naysayers and too many people sticking their hand out.
Right.
You know.
You've got to be prepared to work hard, have a vision.
Yeah. You know, it's funny because people talk about racism. You know, to work and not get paid is part of maybe a racial problem. You're Hispanic, you're black, but to get paid and not work, it's just as bad. I mean, to be giving stuff now, I believe there's certain people that need help, that need assistance.
Yes,
but people take advantage of it.
So let me ask. This is a good question because you don't know much about us, but neither of us would walk by somebody in need and not help them.
I do.
And you do the same. Yeah. So there's 3 of us. Do you think we're unique, or do you think most Americans would, if they saw somebody with a need, a legitimate need, wouldn't stop to help them? I
think a lot of people would.
Most people would. I see videos of this all the time. People stopping, pulling in homeless, feeding the homeless people, taking care of people. What do you need? What can we help you with? This is normal. We don't need a government to do this.
No.
And one thing I liked what you said, Carlos, was that coming to America, you were allowed to fail.
Correct.
So what I like is that America is the land of, it's an opportunity.
That's all you ask.
A lot of people, they feel like, oh, I'm going to America because of equality. Well, equal outcomes is different than equal opportunity.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because if you take the floor, you take the ceiling too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's why I always say, just give me I always say, give me a chance. If I fail, it's on me. If I succeed, it's on me. But I'll tell you a quick story about giving. My middle son, Charlie, had a friend from England. In fact, he was from, I don't remember. Wherever it was, the accent was, I couldn't understand.
It's probably north.
Newcastle.
Okay, north,
Okay,
yes.
Newcastle. 12 years old, whatever. He would come to the house every day, play with my son. And all of a sudden, I didn't see him anymore. And I asked Charlie, I said, hey, what happened to Luke? And he says, oh, they put him in a children's home. And I said, what? I said, the father had come with him, got remarried, or got married to stay here, basically. The new mother didn't like the kid.
Oh, my God.
So I told Charlie, I said, when did this happen? It was about a week ago. So I went over to the children's home, and he was in tears. He used to call me Gijo. And he was crying, Gijo, please get me out of here, help me. And I said, okay, I'll be back. So I went over to his father's house, and I sat down with him and the stepmother or whatever. And I asked him, I said, what's the problem? I said, how come he's in a home? And she started, I said, nothing to do with you. I'm talking to the dad.
Good for you.
And he started, well, I said, listen, are you a man or what are we dealing with here?
Wow.
I said, so I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I said, I'm going to go see my attorney. I'm picking you up tomorrow, and you're going to sign him over to me. And he did.
Wow.
I went and got him.
Wow.
Got him out of the children's home, gave him a place to live for 9 months, and then they didn't renew his visa or whatever papers he had, so he had to go back to England. But, and I've got several stories like that. I'm not going to mention them all, but that's giving. That's
seeing
and that's
a need,
what we
filling
have
it.
to do.
Yeah.
I see cops or military, I pay for the dinner. Yeah, unless there's 20 of them, then no. But I usually do. And I see a homeless, I don't give them money. I'll go over to a restaurant, buy a lunch thing or food, and hand it to them. And you're right what you said. I think there's a lot of Americans that people in this country that would do that. And
I think you taking a kid in is absolutely, it's admirable because a lot of people wouldn't do that.
No,
I mean, that is
yeah,
above and beyond.
yeah.
I was fostered at age 14. Someone took me in, very much like
Look
your
at that.
story. And I loved her, and she died 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And she was my heroine all my life because she rescued me. Not a lot of people would do that. So that's
Yeah.
amazing. And
Thank
you changed this
Yeah.
kid's life, even though he had to go back to England. He saw what it meant
Yeah.
to step in, and that would have framed
Right.
his life.
Yeah.
So that's amazing.
So over the years, over the decades, America's changed.
yes.
I see it changing back. I think America's about to be better than ever, especially knowing I see things in the background that nobody else sees because I study this.
Yeah.
But
The monetary
your
system.
optimism is just what I think we need, just to be optimistic.
If you know what's really going on right now in the backdrop, you're going to be infinitely optimistic because the idea of America is going to go worldwide. It's going to go worldwide. And the idea is that, you see, we're not a democracy. We're a republic.
A republic, absolutely.
And the republic doesn't stand for a blue party,
No.
a red party. A republic stands for the individual. It's about his right to say what he wants, as long as he's not hitting you or
Right,
stealing
yeah,
things
yeah,
or breaking a contract. So the idea of America is going to be a worldwide phenomenon.
Make the distinction between a republic and a democracy. What is the key difference?
So if the two of us, here's three of us, we're going to vote on something. The two of us say that you're going to shave your head. You have no choice. You're going to shave your head.
And that's a democracy.
Yeah, because we're a majority. We win.
You've just
The
win.
majority wins.
Majority wins.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
And a
hey,
republic.
we just voted and you lost.
We have
Sucks to be you.
we have representatives. In other words, we vote for a senator, a commissioner, and they represent they're not representing 51%. They're representing everybody.
So and this will be a we're not going to talk about this here. My Studio 17, I'm going to deep dive about the Constitution. Not the way you think. We're going to deep dive way beyond the Constitution. But the idea of America is about you, your sovereignty, your divine spark, and your permission to be everything you can possibly be. That's America. So if somebody in, like our number one country listening to this is in Singapore, if somebody in Singapore is listening to this, the idea of America in Singapore is that you're beautiful, you're powerful, you're free. Your divine spark deserves whatever you can reach, as long as you're not transgressing, as long as you're following God's rules, God's structures.
Ethics, yeah.
You have this basic, I'm not going to lie, cheat, steal.
Decency.
Just basic stuff. Don't break contracts. Honor your word. Here's the basic structure. If you're living that way, then you're an American in Singapore. Now, the whole idea of government, whether there's, see, everyone thinks, America's great because of a constitution. No. We don't have rights from the Constitution. All the Constitution is, it's a warning to the government. The Constitution is a warning. It's like, we, the people, we own you.
Correct.
You don't play ball for anyone but us. And if you play ball for somebody else, we are going to come get you. That's what the Constitution is. I don't get my rights to carry arms or to say what I want from a stupid piece of paper. I was born with those rights. And all the Constitution does is says, you F around with me? Bad idea.
Yeah.
First of all, I'm going to use my words to tell you that this is not okay. And by the way, my weapons are not to defend against my next door neighbor. They're to defend against a tyrannical government.
Right. What happened in Cuba?
Yeah, so let's double back.
We didn't have weapons.
Let's double back to that because this is very relevant. So my question to you, Carlos, is, how has America changed, and how does what are you looking at? What would you like to see in America moving forward? I personally would love to see. I want to go to Cuba. I want to own property in Cuba. I think it's going to happen. I think it's going to happen in 36 months.
Really?
Yeah.
God, I bless you.
No,
But
I think
until recently, where now Marco Rubio's there, I would have said that I probably won't see it in my lifetime. Now,
we need to have you live longer because you're going to see it.
So I hope so. I hope so. But you asked me about what I thought of. I think our biggest mistake, and not as a country, but as people, you come to this country, first of all, you should be grateful. Number two, assimilate. Don't tell me you've been here 15 years and you can't speak the language. Don't tell me you don't understand anything. There's no excuse. You coming to live here. Listen, I speak Spanish fluently. But if there was three Spanish people here and one American, don't talk to me in Spanish.
What's fascinating about that, both Sarah and I have been to numerous countries. I've been to 50 countries in the military, and plus afterwards, probably 60 total. Every country I went to, I tried to learn at least a few of the words, or the idea that the home people saw this American at least trying to speak their language,
but the difference, what the difference is, you go to visit for vacation or to visit or for work, but when you come here to live here permanently,
and you're trying to change the deal,
yeah. Don't change America. That's why you came here.
Yeah, I know. That's always puzzled me.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
I see people, and I'm not going to mention anybody. I see people driving around with little flags from their country and all of these flags and waving the flag. No, wave the American flag. That's why you're here. So that, to me, it always gets me when I see that. I have one employee. He was in the military, not from here, but it doesn't matter where he was from. I hired him, and I said, listen, I need you to speak English. So what I want you to do, I'm going to give you 12 months. I need you to learn the language, because there's only certain people here. My wife and I are gone. Somebody's got to answer the phone. Somebody got it. So you need to speak to. So 12 months he didn't. I fired him.
Let him go. It's fascinating because I just opened up business in Puerto Rico like 5 months ago.
That's what I was talking about.
And I don't speak Spanish much, but I don't have to. But if I was in Puerto Rico, I'd learn it.
Yeah.
But I saw that as an opportunity to go into Central and South America. So I brought on a whole bunch of people that speak Spanish, bilingual Spanish, because I don't. I think it's a very valuable thing. So I think you have to know your audience, and you have to know. But you're correct. There's a difference between visiting someplace,
right?
And actually, like if I were to go to France or Germany, and I was going to live there, or Russia, I would immerse myself and I'd figure it out.
Mm-hmm. Well, and you respect their culture. You respect why you don't go to change things. You respect their culture, and like my next trip, and my wife and I travel a lot, not other countries. We always travel in a motorhome. We travel the country. Our next trip is Spain, and we're going to Asturias, where my grandparents are from, and I speak Spanish, but I'm going to destroy it up there.
It's very different. It's different.
Yeah, it's just different, but I'm going to do it. But yeah, it's bottom line. I love this country. It gave me the opportunity. What you were saying. That's all anyone should ever want from this country, is to be protected. The military,
free,
and give us the opportunity to excel. And it's there.
And you'd mentioned gratitude right out the gate.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, it's and unless you've been, I feel sorry for people. I mean, I've with Tirri, Jolie, and we've travelled the world. Thank God I did, because I know how amazing this is.
Yeah.
I've been to Africa, I've been to India, I've been to South America, and this is absolutely fantastic. And I think gratitude spiritually is a spiritual mindset, because I believe that more is supplied. So gratitude is a big one for me. Yeah. And to be grateful means that you've got a higher energy, that you're more loving, and that you'll give back. So I really like the fact that you had said that.
And then
first.
the people that are not, they're always angry. They're angry. They hate this. They don't wave the flag. Don't hate it. I say, well, it's just crazy.
And are we poisoned to think that? Is that the media doing that?
Yeah, there's that.
Yeah.
Let's not get with the media.
It's called the mockingbird media.
Yeah, so that's terrible, isn't it? Because we're told, how terrible this country is, and it's really not subjectively.
Look at communist countries, like Cuba. Okay, what is Castro? What's the first thing he did? He took over people's properties. He controlled the media. He controlled the schools. He was teaching the kids to make them little Marxists. It's pure control, and there's no freedom. I remember I was on a radio show one time discussing similar topic, and a guy called in and he says, "Yeah, but they got the highest literacy rate than most countries." And I said, if that's true, that's great. But what good is it if they tell you what to read?
Quite.
Yeah, you can read all you want, but here's what you're going to read.
So right now we have this big thing. The past 5 years, there's been open borders pretty much. It's come on in, we're going to give you a $5,000 credit card or debit card. That's the story anyway.
In a hotel room.
That's the story, a $500 a night hotel room. That's the story. But if the story is true, we've had all these people coming in, doing what they want, when they want. You came in legally, you paid your dues. How does this make you feel?
It's disgusting. I'm sorry.
So you believe in immigration? That people should be...
Listen, I believe in immigration. If there's a problem with our immigration system, then change the law. Make it easier. Make it whatever you want to do. But to open the floodgates without knowing who's... Can you imagine how many potential terrorists are in here without us knowing? How many people hate this country that are coming to destroy it? I feel sorry for those. I even feel sorry for those who came in illegally and are hardworking with kids and now have to pay the price because of the administration before us. They opened the floodgate. I feel sorry for them. I wish they could have. There could have been a way that you say, okay, listen, you've been here 40 years. I can't believe, you haven't done anything about it, but we'll try. But we're at a point where it's too late for that. There's, estimates say, 10 million? I don't know.
Yeah, I've heard up to 10 million, yeah. But let me ask you, let me give you a little bit of hope. I'm a former military special operator.
Yeah.
Sun Tzu, with The Art of War, says, don't let your enemies know what you're doing, right? You appear strong when you're weak,
right,
and appear weak when you're strong. What if the borders weren't really opened? What if we needed to put a honeypot out there so that they come into the border and we give them a credit card, a debit card, and we could literally use the Space Force to track every place they went and map it out and find out exactly who they were, where they were, how they transacted business, so that we can then use special operators to get them all at once, drain the whole swamp. What are your thoughts about? Would you be encouraged if that proved to be the case?
I would have, but I'll be honest with you, I don't think the Biden administration is smart enough to come up with that.
So do you think? And we'll talk. This is a Studio 17 topic.
Yeah.
But have you ever taken a look at the pictures of Joe Biden from 20 years ago versus the one that they put up in the show? Do you think it's the same person?
I don't know.
Okay,
I
I'm just saying. I'm not telling you the answer.
Thing, I don't know.
I'm not saying it.
I
but
don't know.
When you look at the two images, they don't look a lot alike, my friend. So I'm just going to suggest that maybe we ask good questions about who was this 4-year president and who was the real president. And when you look at President Trump for the past, since his first term, and you look at his cap and it says 45-47,
yeah.
Maybe he was the 46th president too, behind the scenes. Maybe I'm wrong, but that seems very, very
I think maybe the
suspicious
46 might have been Obama, but there's so many.
And even the Obama you see,
we don't know.
So I'm not. That's not this show. This is a different show.
Yeah,
but because this is about your journey. But I'm just giving. I'm saying that we need to ask better questions about what we think happened over the Biden administration.
Just not repeat it.
Quick comment, and we'll switch topic if you like, is I believed that the people were kind of waking up. They were realizing that what's been told to them has been a lie for many years. And I think the Democrats needed voters. I think they opened the gate. They started handing out Social Securities and licenses for potential voters.
So what I hear you saying is they spent 4 years waking people up. They spent 4 years waking people up. Is that pretty fair?
Well, no, I think people woke up when they
So you think it was accidental or not intentional?
I think the waking up was probably Trump's fight for this country. Whether you like Trump or not, listen, this is he was aggressive. I guess the bottom line, and put the name Trump aside, but the man proved that this country will probably run better with a businessman than with politicians.
Yeah, I don't put Trump aside. I'm unapologetic. I call him Commander Trump because we're in a military operation right now.
Oh yeah.
I did not vote for him. I voted for the Libertarian.
Okay.
Because I wouldn't vote for Hillary. Hillary's. Yeah. I wouldn't vote for her, and I wanted to vote for the person that was the most disruptive,
right? Which
would have been the independent libertarian, right?
Okay.
So I voted, but immediately thereafter, in fact, I sent a letter to President Trump when he came down the escalator. I sent a letter saying,
I read that.
Saying you got a pretty stout road ahead of you. Yeah. I'll be your vice president.
Yeah,
you know,
that was a great letter.
I literally wrote
good advice for him.
And I said, I got some tips for you.
I'll tell you a quick story. I wrote a song called USA. And
good.
And I sent it.
Is that the one you sent me?
I sent you two. Red, White, and Blue is about my journey from Cuba to the United States. USA is about our country in general.
There we go.
And it was a great song. And it's funny because the catch to the song is USA, and people singing USA, US. So I get a call from a prominent television station in South Florida, and he said, "Hey, we heard your song." I said, "We have a project. Would you mind us using the song. And I said, well, they couldn't reveal who it was, but I said, listen, I've gotten calls from the liberals, and I refuse. I don't want to step into, and he says, no, this will be the total opposite. So I said, okay. So 2 months later, I get a YouTube video, and it was President Trump with my song.
Oh, beautiful. So
Wow.
Yeah.
So for those of
That's
you,
thrilling.
for those of you who are listening to this broadcast, you heard 20 or 30 seconds of music prior to the podcast, but then at the end, right after this discussion, you're going to hear the entire song.
Yeah.
One that Carlos made.
I
was going to say
I was going to share my music experience, if you like, because I don't think we touched.
Yeah, I was going to say since we're talking about music anyway.
Yeah.
Is that okay with you, Sarah?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about music because we all love music.
And, I was a big fan. Of course, when I was growing up, I was a big fan of James Taylor, the Young Rascals. I mean, this is some beautiful music. And when while my wife was going through cancer, 2007, 2008, 2009, I picked up the guitar again, and I started writing music. And I said, you know what? I said, I got extra money now. I'm doing well. I said, I'm going to go record an album. So I drove down to Miami with an old friend that has been very successful. This man has recorded with Barbra Streisand. He's recorded with, he toured with Barry Gibbs. The guy it's up 4 Grammys. I mean, awesome. And I say, well, if I can just get him to say, hey, okay, this is good enough. I'll help you produce, and I'll be happy.
And had you been singing throughout that time, like in the shower? You hadn't used your voice?
No, I started all over again.
Gosh.
And so I go down to Miami. I go to his studio. And of course we hug. Hey, how you been? I'm so proud of you. You've done so well. And because the guy's on the top of his field. And I said, so I grabbed the guitar and I played. And I played 2 or 3 songs. He said, play me a couple more. And so I played, and he says, well, I said, why don't we do this? Let's get my brother in the line, and let's go ahead and do the album. And I said, but I want to be part of the band. And I said, what band? I said, the band we're going to form. And it's the Solis Bravo Band. His last name is Bravo. So it's the Solis Bravo Band. So here I got a 4-time Grammy Award winner that's played with everybody.
You sounded amazing. I listened to a lot of your tracks. They were just really amazing.
So I put this band together. There's 10 of us. And I got the best of the best in South Florida. Wow. My horn section was some of the guys from Miami Sound Machine.
Oh, gosh.
It's just an amazing, so we start playing. I start performing. And I'm saying, wow, I never thought at my later years that I'd be doing this.
Yeah.
And every venue was full. And what I did was something a little different than most musicians. So I didn't need the money. I mean, I wanted to pay my band. So I would find 4 or 5 sponsors, right? Each sponsor gave money. I got the location, and we play only in theaters, big theaters. I didn't do local stuff. So I paid my band, and all the ticket sales went to cancer.
This is freaking me out a little bit. I'm just going to be honest because I can't say the name of my new band.
Okay.
But that business model is identical.
Yes,
it works. To what my new band's business model is.
No, it works. But listen, the big companies are happy because their money went to the cancer. Not only that, but they they let everybody in town. We had full house, and then my biggest night was going back to Miami. There's a place called, it was called the Parrot Jungle. It was and it had a big theater, Pinecrest Gardens, big theater, outdoor with a dome. And so I'm going to perform. And I'm sitting in the green room in the back, and I'm listening to all these laughters and people laughing. And I say, and it's just packed, standing room only. And I go out there. And I started bawling. I started crying. I looked, and there are all the kids I grew up with, elementary, junior high, high
so
school.
beautiful. Wow.
There's three different gangs that used to fight each other. A bunch of old farts, they were all there. And I'm just saying, I can't believe this.
Wow.
And an incredible night.
Yeah.
So what's the status of your band right now? I mean,
what happened, COVID came, and of course, everything stopped. I kept writing, and then after COVID, I got a phone call from Richard, my drummer, who was.
Is he down in Miami still?
Oh yeah,
okay.
he travels. There's a very well-known popular Latin singer called Juanes. He tours with Juanes, and he tours with Barry Gibbs. And he's calling me, hey, we got to start again. And I said, shit, I can't do this again. I just tired.
Yeah.
Because I had to do it all. I found the venue. I negotiated the contract. I promoted I found the sponsors.
Wrote, played,
and I told Rich, I said, you come and you leave.
Yeah.
But
You do everything else.
Yeah.
And that's one thing people don't get, because I had a band down in Jupiter, Florida.
Yeah, I'm from.
And I did everything.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of work, plus play bass.
Oh, yeah.
People have no idea, if you're going to play out with a band, how many moving parts there are. Even just the stage setup and the venue and all this. But I admire what you did, and I get it. So what I was going to do, our business model diverges a little bit, because I'm not going to have corporate sponsors. I avoid corporations, but I do want to support charities. So I have a mechanism for that. Also, I'm going to be treating my business manager as if he or she is a member of the band.
Oh, and you
they
have
get
to.
everything.
Absolutely.
Just whatever the drummer gets, you get. Whatever the singer gets, you get. Right.
And I'll help you. You let me know.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna ask.
Happy to do it.
When I shut off the mics, I'm gonna tell you the name of the band.
Okay.
And you're gonna laugh your butt off. You're gonna love it, and you're gonna want to promote it, because it's.
I'll help you. Absolutely.
Oh.
You know, the only thing I miss, several things, but what I miss, it's not only sharing my music, but sharing my story, because my concerts were not just music.
It was a relationship.
Every song had a story. I wrote a song. I wrote a song called "You're Not Alone," and I wrote it for my wife. Beautiful song. Talking about I will be by your side to these times of pain and sorrow. A beautiful song. And then we were recording it, and I get to the studio, and my producer, I asked when my sax player was coming. Well, Camilo could not come. He was sick. He wasn't feeling good. So this guy walks in with a sax that looks like it's from the 1940s, and long hair like this. And he walks in, and I said, who did we get? And he says, that's Charlie DeChant. I said, who's Charlie DeChant? That's the sax player for Hall & Oates.
Oh, my, wow.
So we give him the charts, because you have all the charts on how the sax is going to sound. We give him the charts, and one take. I pay him by the hour. It was unfair. I paid him more because I felt he did it so quickly. But after he plays it, I push the button and I say, Charlie, do me a favor. Are you comfortable? Just do your own thing. Forget the charts.
Good for you.
Here I got a Grammy Award winning.
Yeah, good for you.
I'm gonna control him with my stupid charts.
Exactly.
And so he did, and that's the take. When you hear the song, that was him. That was mine. That was not me.
It is amazing, and so I'm going to tell you this story. It's just a very personal story. Right here, I was here. Right here was there was a sax player. His name's Rob. He used to play he plays the Vegas show.
Okay.
And he was with my previous band, the Phil Collins Tribute Band. He was here, I was here, and we were playing a Phil Collins tune. And it had a pretty complex bass line, but I'm self-taught. I'm not a...
Right.
I never took any lessons. So
same with me.
I would literally have to... And one thing we have in common is the James Taylor bass player...
Oh, yeah.
Was the same one for Phil Collins, right?
Yeah.
So Leland Sklar. So I would literally watch videos on Leland Sklar, and I would see his hands, I would see his technique, I would see how he played. I studied him 100 hours for each song, just studying it. I'm not lying.
No, I believe
just
you.
Every slide, everything. And so Rob was standing here. His name's Rob Nader. And we finished the tune right here. And there was like 9 of us in this studio here. And he says, that you played that exactly like Leland Sklar.
Wow.
And I cried.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. I was emotional to have a professional like him, the sax player that's freaking one of the top 10 in the country.
Yeah, tell you that.
Tell me that. I was so emotional because I'm just a scrapper kid, Detroit kid, right?
Uh-huh.
It's just from the streets.
Yeah.
Because you're the streets of Miami, I was the street of Detroit.
Yeah.
In fact, the movie Eminem, I don't know if you ever saw the 8 Mile. 8 Mile. I knew all those streets. My brother and I watched that movie. We were laughing. We're like, oh, yeah, that's Outer Drive. We knew. So I get you. And I admire you so much. Yeah. So we talked about music. We talked about sports. We talked about America. What else? What are we missing?
So it sounds to me that you've had some hardships, some suffering. I mean, especially with what happened with your wife. That was probably difficult. But she's alive and well now.
Alive.
So
and
you
then I got
overcame
cancer afterwards.
Oh, really? Did you?
But yeah.
So tell me a bit about that. Did you? What role has faith played?
Oh, tremendous. When I was growing up, the only time that I reached out was when I got in trouble. When I knew either I'm going to go to jail, or they caught me, or the cop would be behind me when I had stolen the car, and I'm saying, "Oh shit!" I'm waiting for the lights to turn on, and then I pray. But then when everything's over, you seem to forget it. Right. But as you get older, you look back and you start realizing there's no coincidence. The things that have happened to me were just. It was just amazing how I could, any turn, I would have been dead.
Right.
But yet, and then what really hit me was with my wife. When she got cancer, the business, the guy shows up.
Yeah. We
sell it at the price that I wanted. Then I buy it back for, oh my God, I wish I could. All right, listen. I sold it for enough to be able to buy 2 or 3 houses. I bought it back for a price of a used car.
Wow.
Okay? So, and at that point, it's when I said, wait a minute, this is too much to ignore.
Yeah, the synchronicities.
And my faith just went,
yeah,
I got baptized.
So your faith was strengthened as a result of seeing God in action, basically.
More than strengthened, I finally found it because the rest of it was phony. I need him, and all of a sudden you forget and you're out doing.
It's almost like God's transactional. Like God's there when you need God, and it's not. God's there when you don't need God. Right? It's just all transactional.
And you eventually realize that there's a plan. There's something for me in this life that I'm supposed to share, give back, whether it's my music, me being here speaking, whatever it is. To answer your question, it's amazing what when you really look back and you realize that God's always been there.
That hand of God all over it.
I just haven't been paying attention.
Right.
So, Carlos, when you say there was a plan, is your idea that your soul existed and God was this general and you were the sergeant, and God said, look, I need you to go in there and do this, and this is the plan? Or was the plan something that you came up with and said, yeah, you know what, in order to make myself bigger, stronger, a better soul, a better spirit, we agreed to these terms, and you're going to immerse me into this human experience? I mean, what's the plan?
I think I could have all the plans in the world.
So do you think the plan is yours or somebody else's?
No, I think that's God's plan.
So you're a pawn.
Yes,
God's.
I'm here to serve Him. In other words, I could have all the plans I want. Listen, I wanted to win a Grammy. Okay, there's a lot of things.
We can still do this, We can still.
There's a lot of plans that I had that just didn't happen. Well, but it wasn't meant to. You know.
But do you think that's part of the plan? Is
I think
the idea that you? Because I always teach my entrepreneur groups, N-O means new opportunity. That means you have to rethink what's going on here.
You could take the road, but that doesn't mean that's the road for you. And you're going to realize that there's a dead end to that road, and you're going to find another road.
And do you think that God gets you back on the
Yes,
road
that's
if you
what
get
I
knocked
think.
off?
I think I am blessed. I am blessed as a human being. I'm blessed because I got a fantastic wife. Has 48 years of marriage, up and down. She's been through hell with me. She's been to me and she came from a wealthy family. She was not from the project. I lived in Little Havana in the project. She lived in Coral Gables Estates. And but yet she stuck with me. We got married. We lived in a one-bedroom little apartment. We raised 3 great kids. I got 3 great. I'm blessed.
Yes, you certainly are.
I'm blessed.
Yeah.
And so I think I've done whatever God's put me here. My family probably was number one.
Yes.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
that's
And
beautiful.
then maybe my music, maybe sharing my story, because I love sharing my story.
So what's next for you? You've checked the boxes. I mean, look at all the things he's checked in his life. So
Very
what's
accomplished.
next?
I've got another book coming out. It's about my wife's and I's travels throughout the Southeast United States.
Oh, beautiful.
It talks about we went to Savannah, Helen, Georgia, and we talk about our travels, what restaurants we went to, what we did, and
So it's like a travel guide.
Yeah, so I'm almost done with that. I'm continuing to write. I have a book, a huge book of music. The problem is I don't have the kind of money that I can spend $30,000 on an album, So recording.
You have to look at AI technology to assist you.
No, I want live musicians.
So when you're writing music,
Yes.
where do you get your inspiration? Is this something that's planned, or is it happening as you're sitting
it's
down?
traveling. When I travel the country, for instance, a little town up in northern Tennessee called Mountain City, Tennessee. Small little town, which we love the small towns. I don't do the big.
Call out to Mountain City, Tennessee, y'all.
Yeah.
It's like,
And there's a little campground there on a stream, and I go sit down by the stream, grab my guitar, I just start plugging away, and all of a sudden a chord progression comes and a melody comes, and the lyrics are the last.
They're the last, are they?
They're the last for me. I'm not the type that does the lyrics and then puts a song to it. No. In fact, we were in Kentucky, and we were driving to Tennessee, and we're on a road, and I was teasing my wife, and I told my wife, I said, I got lucky in Kentucky, and she started laughing, and I said, damn, that's a song.
Yes, it is.
And I wrote a song. I got lucky.
that's
in
really
Kentucky.
sweet. But isn't that the way things work?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, you don't know much about our podcast, but we started off a year and a few days ago, maybe 14 months ago. We had no idea where this was going to go. We didn't think we'd have guests. Now having guests is like, it's a gas.
Yes.
I mean, I love meeting people
me
like
too.
you. And so what questions do you have for us?
Oh, my goodness.
And maybe none. That's okay.
No, I mean, I think we shared.
We did. We
your,
shared a
your
lot,
story.
right?
You shared your story. I just hope your podcast just takes off.
Well, we're not doing it for money. We're not doing it for notoriety.
But we want to reach people.
We just want to send good stories to the people.
Yeah.
I think our message is one of hope. But how is your thought with this podcast? How has it morphed over the past year and a half?
I think we started out as 2 women wanting to get to know each other, and we decided to do that over the mic because we didn't really know each other. We'd been introduced. So our friendship has evolved over live time, over 66 episodes.
And we surprised each other.
Yes, we did, and we don't always agree, and we can get pretty heated over subjects, but we talk about ideas, solutions to problems, and we just go anywhere. I mean, there's not really a subject that we haven't covered. I have one last question I wanted to ask you. So parenting, that's quite a difficult job to get right,
Absolutely.
isn't it? Parenting.
Absolutely. And there's no education for
Nothing.
it. Right? There's no school for it.
Yeah.
I guess what helped me was the fact that I probably did everything they were going to do, and I would catch them.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
that's fascinating.
Yes,
because I've got 4 children, and the same thing. You got to let them get away with some things.
Oh yeah,
you got to give them the boundaries. But
could you tell if they were lying to you?
Excuse me?
Could you tell if they were lying to you? Your children? Could you tell if they were lying?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because there's something.
My wife was real good because my wife, they would come home and we hadn't heard anything, and my wife would say, "You want to tell me something?" Nothing had happened.
Interrogation.
Isn't there something you want to tell me? Well, who are you talking to? And I'm just telling you, there's something you want to tell me before you get in trouble. All of a sudden, I didn't mean to do that. Yeah. But I was firm. I was firm with their friends. My house was full of kids.
Was it? Yes,
full.
Mine was too.
Full.
They must have been very comfortable then.
Well, I have one kid that, of course, he was taking drugs, and I didn't want my kids messing with any of that, and they knew it, and they knew I never did.
Yeah.
So the guy comes over, "Oh, Mr. Solis, is Charlie home?" And he's all red eye, and I said, "Hey," I said, "what have I told you?" He says, "What do you mean?" I said, "You're high." And "Oh no, man." I said, "Yeah, you're high." I said, "Don't come to my house high. Now you go back home, and when you get feeling a little better and something, that you can come back." So he comes back the second time, and he's high again. So he makes a comment. So I slapped him. Oh yeah, so he dropped to the floor, and he says, "Shit, Mr. Solis." I said, "I'll tell you what, go home. Tell your daddy what I did, and if he wants some of it too, tell him to come see me." So the father called 3 days later, and he thanked me.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he said, "Thanks." I said, "Maybe you should do some of that
little
too."
Shit. You should have listened to me the first time.
And my kids will never let me forget it. That's it.
I speak for myself, and I think Sarah would agree. This has been a great opportunity to get to know you better.
I've enjoyed meeting you all, and it's been fun.
I'm looking forward to reading your book.
Please do.
I love biographies and memoirs.
Yeah,
I've written one myself, so that's
reach out to me after you read it. I'd like to get your...
Let's do that.
And you have some friends, too. You said you have a friend that you want me to interview on my other show.
Yes.
That would be a former military.
Rick Prado was in the street gangs that involved with me in Miami. And he went and... was a rescue, first EMS, and then he wound up being a pararescue. Then the CIA recruited him. He went over to Nicaragua to train. And he spent 2 or 3 years in the jungle training. Then from there, he went to 2 or 3 other places. He was in the task force to go find Osama bin Laden. It's just a hell.
Is he here locally, or is there?
He's in St. Augustine.
I might have to go and interview him because I'm relaunching my Studio 17. But that would be the type of person I would interview.
He's something else.
But you could do that because I have a radio station and I do broadcasts. You could do it over the phone.
I'll reach out to him. And if
is he the 2-star general you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
Retired as a 2-star general. Mm-hmm. Tough kid in Miami. Tough kid. Mm-hmm. You have to be.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
You have to be.
But you could do it over the phone. Frank and I record, and I do it from Claremont. He's down at Deerfield Beach, and it's wonderful. It just goes on the phone through
and
the
I'm going to be
panel.
doing. There's a new technology that'll record on his computer, so there's no. It's going to be very high fidelity on his computer, and then the whole file gets sent to me after the recording.
He sounds like an interesting one.
It's gonna be good.
Oh, he's you can look him up. He's on YouTube. He's done interviews.
Sure, I'll find him
everywhere.
Well, there's another podcast that I have in the works. It's not launched yet, but it's called We the People Florida.
Oh, okay.
So that's gonna be awesome. But it's not what you think it is. You see, I won't go there now. It's the close of the show. But We the People Florida it's not about the America. It's not about Constitution. It's literally about individual sovereign souls navigating this earth space in Florida. So It's like a microcosm of this,
Yes.
but I get to go outside the sandbox a little bit.
Yeah.
Sometimes Sarah rolls her eyes. She's like, "No, you're not saying that right now, are you? Did you just say that?" Okay, so Sarah, close us out. Any last final thoughts?
Well,
for the
it's
episode?
been a pleasure talking to
Thank you so much. Same here.
I'm going to read your memoir,
Okay.
and then we can talk again because
Thank
I'm
you.
very curious. I'll have a lot of questions, I'm sure, and I'm looking
absolutely.
forward to that. And you've got amazing kids. They were lovely to talk
thank
to.
you.
as
They
well.
are. They are something.
Yeah, you're a wonderful.
Proud of
family.
them.
Yeah, that's
Carlos,
nice.
Carlos, how can people find out about your books, your music, your plans, your travels?
I think the best way is if they go to solisbravo.com.
Okay, I'll put the link in the show
Yeah,
notes.
that's my website. And from there, you can hear the music, you can get the book, you can see my life story. Everything's there.
Okay, so I'll put that just one link on the show
thank
notes.
you.
That'd be great.
solisbravo.com.
Great. And for those of you listening, you've been listening to Soul Decodes. This is episode 66. Our listenership is starting to grow, and we couldn't do it without you listening, and thanks so much. And now you're going to enjoy some beautiful music from Carlos and his friends.
Thank you.
All right, thanks. I hope you enjoyed the music and come back and hear us next week.
God bless.
Proud to say every day we're living in the USA. Proud to say I'm free today. Living in the USA. Stand for the flag, make no mistake. The symbol that makes our country great. We're living in the USA. USA, 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 USA. Say it again. USA, 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 USA. Proud to say, here to stay. Living in the USA. Proud to say to us God gave land of the free and home of the brave. And this is the land that I adore. I'll stand for the flag and kneel to the Lord. Red, white, and blue are the colors I choose. And those who serve, may God bless you too. We're living in the USA. USA, 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 USA. This is the land that we adore. Stand for the flag and kneel to the Lord. We're living in the USA. Proud to say every day. Living in the USA. And proud to say no other place. Living where we're free today. Stand for the flag, make no mistake. The symbol that makes our country great. We're living in the USA. USA, 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 USA. Proud to say every day. USA, USA. Proud to say every day. We're living in the USA. USA, USA, we're living in the USA. USA, 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 proud to say every day. We're living in the USA.
Soul Decodes, a featured presentation, airs every Friday on the Earth Angel Media Network. This episode of Soul Decodes is sponsored and produced by Live Pure. Optimize your life by taking your health to the next level. Listen now to learn how Live Pure will make your world better.
Live Pure is an American-based distribution system of online portals that give discounted access to clean, potent, natural, and ethically sourced healthy solutions for fat loss, muscle gain, clean skin care, immune system support, whole body cleanse, physiological balance, and performance support for athletes of all ages. Live Pure handpicks the best products and nutrients from world-class companies, always adding to their quickly growing wellness lineup that now includes Korean skincare, no-injection weight loss alternatives, medical-grade nutraceuticals listed in the physician's desk reference, and healthy coffee that rivals the world's best, but for only about $1 per cup. Soul Decodes listeners looking for youth, beauty, and better health can get wholesale pricing by visiting livepure.com/gateway and signing up for free as a preferred customer. Content creators, influencers, and virtual entrepreneurs looking for passive cash flows from emerging markets can profit from Live Pure's state-of-the-industry affiliate program, which provides up to 7 different payment vectors. Content creators aligned with Live Pure and Earth Angel Media will enjoy massive co-marketing benefits, including a personally branded website. Sign up as an affiliate brand partner at livepure.biz/gateway or drop us a note at earthangelproject.com. Check out the show notes for more details.